children were out of town, says he wanted something to read and went to a late-night newsstand. He stopped here and picked up the suspected transsexual.
All right, let's talk about something that's not only emotional but honestly pretty heartbreaking. This story involves comedian and actor Eddie Murphy, but it's not about his career or any of his iconic roles. It's about his family, specifically his child, Angel. Angel is Eddie Murphy's son, a transgender man who's recently spoken out about the painful distance between him and his father. This isn't just a minor disagreement or a family misunderstanding. According to Angel, things took a serious turn after he transitioned. What started as a strained relationship became something much worse: emotional abandonment. Angel came out as transgender a few years ago and hoped for acceptance and love from his dad. But instead of finding support, he says Eddie pulled away completely.
Eddie Murphy, that's bush. I'm Eddie Murphy. I watch all this movie, man, but man, you don't accidentally pick up a transvestite. You know what I'm saying? That ain't happening, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it did, first of all, man, you know what I'm saying?
Right around.
You know what I'm saying? All the money he got, man, why would you be on the strip picking up a transvestite, whatever you call it? You know what I'm saying? I don't believe it. You know, I think it's bush. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy, but to me, that's some straight bush.
He stopped calling, stopped showing up, and acted like Angel didn't exist. And what's even harder to hear is that Angel didn't just sit back and let the relationship fade. He really tried to reconnect. He reached out multiple times, wanting not just approval but a real father-son relationship. Sadly, Angel says those efforts were met with silence. No calls back, no messages returned, and no presence at major life events. It's like Eddie disappeared from his life entirely. On top of that, Angel claims Eddie never acknowledged his transition.
Stay in contact with your exes?
Oh, well, you know I'm right around the corner from mine.
He continued using Angel's old name and refused to use his correct pronouns, a move that can feel deeply invalidating to any trans person, especially coming from a parent. It's one thing to feel rejected. It's another thing to feel erased by someone who's supposed to love you unconditionally. And this pain didn't start with the transition, it started way back when Angel was born. Let's rewind to the beginning of this story. Back in 2006, Eddie Murphy started dating singer and former Spice Girl, Mel B. Their relationship seemed promising, and Mel believed they were planning a future together, including having a child.
What kind of movie haven't you done that you still want to do?
I haven't done porno. I have not done porno. And I think that would shake people up right now if I made that twist.
When she got pregnant, she assumed Eddie would be happy. But instead of being excited, Eddie publicly questioned the baby's paternity. In an interview, he said he didn't know if the baby was his and wouldn't be sure until a test proved it. Imagine being born into the world and hearing that your dad doubted you were even his. A paternity test eventually confirmed that Eddie was Angel's biological father. No questions, no confusion. But even after that, things didn't magically improve. Yes, Eddie paid child support, as the court required. But being a father is about more than money. Emotionally, he was absent. Mel B later said she tried to keep things peaceful for Angel's sake. She didn't want any drama, just for her daughter to have a relationship with her father. But Eddie reportedly showed no interest in co-parenting and barely acknowledged Angel's existence. He just vanished.
I always said I would drop Murphy if I get remarried. And I always get asked that question, how come you still have Murphy? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, listen, I was married to that man for years, okay?
It got so bad that for years, Angel believed Mel's ex-husband, Stephen Belafonte, was her actual dad. That's how uninvolved Eddie was. Someone else had to fill the role of father because Eddie left a giant hole in her life. And here's something even more surprising. It took Eddie's ex-wife, Nicole Murphy, to convince him to even meet Angel for the first time. That's right, Nicole had to step in and tell him to do the right thing. Think about that. If your ex has to step in just to get you to meet your child, something is seriously wrong. Eventually, Eddie did meet Angel, but by then, the emotional damage was already there. Angel didn't feel that connection a child is supposed to have with their father. Their meetings were awkward, and nothing ever developed into a real relationship. It was like trying to force something that had never been nurtured. As Angel grew older, he started to hope that maybe, just maybe, things could finally change. That there could be a real bond with Eddie, not just some cold, court-ordered visit. And for a while, there was hope. But once Angel began transitioning and living as his true self, everything changed again. According to Angel and those close to him, Eddie didn't step up when it mattered most. Instead of offering love and support, he pulled away again. No phone calls, no emotional backing, no efforts to understand what his child was going through. And let's be real, coming out and transitioning is one of the most vulnerable things a person can do. To be rejected at that moment, especially by your parent, is incredibly painful. This isn't about a celebrity messing up. This is about a father failing his child at multiple points in that child's life. And it's not just physical absence. It's emotional abandonment. When a parent refuses to recognize your identity, refuses to call you by your name, and makes no effort to show they love you, that leaves deep, lasting wounds. Angel isn't asking for perfection. He just wanted his father to love and accept him for who he is. But instead, he's been met with silence. No public support. No private effort. Nothing. That kind of rejection doesn't just hurt, it can shape a person's mental health and self-worth for years. And let's talk about the bigger picture. Because this isn't just about Angel's story, it's about accountability. People are calling Eddie out on social media, and they're not holding back. Many are pointing out the fact that Eddie has 10 children, and yet, somehow, Angel ended up feeling the most alone. One person said, "It's not about being woke, it's about being present." And they're right. Eddie has the fame, the resources, the platform. There's no excuse for being absent when your child needs you. Another comment said, Angel was pushed away even before he got the chance to speak his truth. And when he finally did, his father disappeared again. That's trauma. Mental health professionals are also weighing in. They say that the kind of emotional neglect Angel experienced, especially during a gender transition, can lead to long-term struggles with depression, anxiety, and identity. This isn't just about a dad missing a birthday. It's about a father turning his back when it mattered most. And here's where things feel even more complicated. Back in 1997, Eddie was stopped by police while giving a ride to a transgender woman. His team said he was just trying to help. But now people are wondering, how is it that he could be calm and open-minded about trans people in public when it was convenient, but can't offer that same acceptance to his own child? That's the part that really stings for a lot of folks. The public image of being kind, inclusive, and open-minded doesn't match the private actions. And in the end, that's what hurts the most, not just for Angel, but for anyone watching this unfold. Because if a celebrity with all the fame, money, and power in the world can't even show up for his own child, what message does that send? Angel isn't just some name in a headline. He's a real person. And his story is one that speaks to the importance of showing up, listening, and loving our kids exactly as they are. And here's the thing, Eddie still hasn't said a word. No interviews. No social media posts. No signs of support. Not even a quiet message of encouragement behind the scenes that we know of. Nothing. Just silence. And let's be honest, Eddie Murphy is not some low-key, camera-shy, private guy. When he wants to clear the air, promote a new film, or clap back at rumors, he's front and center. He knows how to speak when it benefits him. So for him to say nothing about something this personal about his own child, that silence says more than any statement could. It's not just emotional neglect. It feels like rejection. And at this point, it's not about fame or celebrity anymore, it's about basic human decency. It's about being a parent. A real parent. Forget the glitz, forget the iconic status, forget the box office numbers. None of that matters when your own child feels invisible. Angel's not asking Eddie to be perfect. No one is. But showing up matters. Saying, I see you. I love you. I support you, matters. It always has, but especially now. Especially during the most vulnerable moment in someone's life, when they're stepping into their truth and trusting their family to love them through it. And what hurts even more for fans is that we wanted to keep rooting for Eddie. We grew up on his jokes, his movies, his stand-up. We loved the characters, the voices, the energy. We quoted his lines, we played his movies on repeat. But now? It's hard to separate the comedy from the coldness. Because this isn't some tabloid scandal or internet rumor you can just laugh off. This is real. This is someone's pain. Someone's life. This is Angel's truth, and he deserved better. Now listen, it's not too late. That's the important part. Eddie could still change things. But change has to start with honesty. With accountability. With effort. It takes more than a statement, it takes presence. It takes action. And most of all, it takes love that isn't conditional. That doesn't disappear when things get hard. Because that's what real parenting looks like. So, what do y'all think? Is Eddie just stuck in an old mindset? Is this about misunderstanding, pride, or something deeper? Or do you think there's more going on behind the scenes than we know? Let me know what's on your mind. Drop your thoughts in the comments and please keep it respectful, because at the end of the day, this is about real people, real emotions, and a family that's clearly hurting. If you made it to the end, thank you. Seriously. Hit that like button if you stayed for the tea, and don't forget to subscribe if you want more honest conversations like this. I've got more coming soon. Until then, take care of yourselves, and most importantly, take care of each other. I'll see you in the next one.